Good morning, Facebook. This is Jorge Vasquez with Greystone Investment Group, where you invest and we do the rest. Today, I wanted to talk to those people that are currently renting a property. If you're a tenant, or you have been a tenant for many years, but are interested in buying a property, but you feel that you don't have the credit for it, or you don't have enough money as a down payment, we have a solution for you. Here at Greystone, we're offering rent-to-own deals. For the first time, we're going to be offering rent-to-own deals, so you could rent a property while you work on your credit, lock on the price right now, and be able to own the property as quick as 2 years. So how does it work? Well, let's say, for instance, you're getting your tax returns now done, and you get a tax credit, let's say $5,000-$6,000. You go to our website, Greystone IG, that's GreystoneIG.com. You go to the area that says rent to own. You select a property you like. There's about 4 or 5 properties right now that we're featuring on the website. And as long as you have a $5,000 down payment minimum, the property is yours. And we'll work for you for those 2 years that you're going to have the lease option in place, or the rent to own agreement. Will help you improve your credit and help you eventually transfer the property to your name. So very easy, guys. Doesn't get any easier than this. If you ever thought about owning your own property, about owning a piece of real estate, this is by far the easiest and most affordable way of doing it. Once again, very simple. You go to our website, go to GreystoneIG.com. There's about 5 properties that we have available now, and we're gonna continue adding more properties to GreystoneIG.com. Hopefully we'll have more options soon. My goal, our team's goal, is to have at least 10 properties at any given moment for potential tenant buyers to choose from. So the opportunity is huge. These are off-market deals, so often you're gonna find them cheaper than in the MLS. You won't have to pay real estate commission, and as long as you have the down payment, we do not care about your credit. Yes, the credit is not that relevant. All you need to do is put the $5,000, and you could be owning a property as fast as of 2 weeks. So if you have the $5,000, you like any other properties you see at GreystoneIG.com, and you have $5,000, the property's yours. Take it away from me. So very cool. This is a brand new concept. One of the reasons that we're able to do this is because the relationship we're building with these sellers, for the first time, because of our efforts trying to reach out to more and more sellers, and the type of relationships we try to do with sellers. We try to consult them when they're trying to sell a property. Often the people that we talk to the most are people that are going through problems, need to get rid of the property, so their loss is your gain, pretty much. But it's so easy, and one of the main reasons is because we have the time. The sellers are giving us the time for us to find a lease option buyer. The properties, we're getting more properties than ever. We have the capability of putting everything together for you, getting you the property you need, eventually the lending once you want to exercise the lease option, we'll get you insurance, we'll help you with the whole process. And it's very simple. As long as you have $5,000, look at all the properties we have in GreystoneIG.com. That's GreystoneIG.com. Go to the rent to own area and select a property you like. Very simple. As long as you have $5,000, the property is yours. This is a unique and great opportunity for you to own your property today. Real estate is really hot right now. The biggest advantage of doing a rent to own deal versus, you're going to ask yourself this question: what's the point of doing a rent to own deal for 2 years when I could just wait 2 years when I have the money to buy the property? Well, the answer is this: real estate is still hot. Real estate in Tampa is still predicted to go up this year. It's predicted to go up next year. So it's better to go in now as a lease option buyer, rent to own buyer, lock the price, because that's the biggest benefit of being a tenant buyer, is that when you create that option of buying the property, you lock the price today. So in lame terms, if you buy the property for $100 today, you get it under contract. On a rent to own deal, you lock the price at $100, you close on it 2 years from now, you refinance, whatever the case might be, and the property goes into your name. But you lock in the price today. So you lock in the $100 today, because properties keep going up in price. So your biggest benefit is that you're going to start building up equity. By the time you buy the property, there's a chance that 2 years from now you already have $10,000, $15,000 in equity. So that is the biggest advantage of doing a lease option rent to own deal versus waiting 2 years until you eventually have the money to buy the property. So once again, you go to GreystoneIG.com, go to the area that says rent to own, pick any property you like, any property you want, $5,000 down, and it's yours. And the biggest benefit to you is that you lock in the price on today's prices. That's your biggest benefit, because you could continue renting for 2 years, but the property's 2 years from now, instead of 100, it's going to be 120, 130. But if you lock it today, you're building equity while you're renting to own the property. That is the biggest benefit of renting to own a property. And Greystone has made it so easy. It has never been this easy, where if you have $5,000, the property is yours. Not too many qualifications needed. Not even the job stability is a factor in the underwriting decision. Money in bank is not a factor. All you need to do is bring $5,000. If you have $5,000 and you like any other properties you see in Greystone IG, the property is yours. That's simple. So I encourage you to, if you have the $5,000 some savings aside, or as you're doing your taxes and you're expecting a credit, think about what you're going to do with that money. Are you going to spend it on stuff that are really miscellaneous stuff that you're going to buy today, they'll be gone tomorrow, or you want to buy a piece of asset that's going to change your life, that you'll be able to sell in future years and make a ton of money? So once again, very simple. The biggest benefit of renting to own is that prices are going to continue going up in the next couple of years, and you want to be able to lock the price today. Often, because these properties are off market, you're getting cheaper than anybody else. They're not in the MLS. Some of them need repairs, but the beauty is that you could fix them to your own taste. Yes, you can actually from day one start painting or doing whatever you want with the property, because you're going to be closing on it 2 years from now. It's going to be yours. It's going to go under your name. Even better, people don't know this, but often there's a lot of banks that will take your lease to own payment history as credit, allowing you to sometimes even just refinance the property without having to going through the exercise of purchasing the property, therefore saving you a lot of money. Lease option buyers, once again, or rent to own buyers, what are the benefits? You lock the price today, so your property gains equity for 2 years. You don't have to pay a real estate commission when you buy it, so you're saving another $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 because it's a lease option. Sometimes it's, and the banks will allow you to refinance versus buying, so you're saving a ton of money, and you get to be on your property today, save, putting money, start saving the rent money that you would otherwise put into a rental for 2 years into something you're buying. Once again, all you have to do is go to greystoneig.com, go to the area that says rent to own, pick a property you like, bring us $5,000, and the property is yours. That's simple. Everything is by the law. Everything is you do everything with the lawyer. He reads the contract to you. We want to make sure that you understand what you're signing, but it's not rocket science. You're renting to owning a property eventually. Very cool concept. Not a lot of companies doing it right now. So I'm very excited. And one of the reasons that we're able to do this is because of the type of relationship we're building with these sellers. In the past, we didn't do, I wouldn't say that we didn't do a good job with sellers. It's just that maybe we didn't have the right formula to build that relationship with the seller and be able to say, hey, can you give me 60 days to close, 2 months to close, 3 months to close, whatever the case might be, in order to allow a lease option buyer to come. That capability was never there until 2020. Now in 2020, for the first time in the company history, we're offering rent to own deals. Very simple. As long as you have $5,000 and you have a property you like, you go to greystoneig.com, go to the tab that says rent to own, pick the property you like, schedule a preview, give us a $5,000, and the property is yours. Of course, subject to availability. In some cases, $5,000 is the minimum. There could be cases where we need a little more depending on the property. There's also times where the property, it might not become available for whatever reason. But all I'm saying to you guys is take the step to financial freedom. The first step is investing in real estate. And how you gonna do it? Rent to own. Rent to own. You start with one, you live in it for 2 years, you eventually refinance it. 2 years from now, remember guys, you're gonna say, well, my credit is bad, blah blah, whatever the case might be. Well, even if you couldn't find a conventional lender to do this lending for you 2 years from now, you also have the option. Check this out. This is pretty cool. You're gonna like this strategy. You have the option of refinancing the property as an investment home, probably get 100% financing at that moment because you have built some equity, and move on to another lease option deal. Hear me out. You could sign a contract to rent to own on a property you like. Let's say you bought the property for $100. 2 years from now, the property is worth $120. Let's say that you still have problems with your credit, 20 months into it, 22 months into it, you realize that you still have problems with your credit, all you need to do is buy the property as an investment home, because there's a ton of private lenders as long as it's an investment property. So the only thing you will need to do is seek for the next lease option purchase, move into that property, the new one, so that you can make the one you're living in a rental. And as a rental, the possibilities are endless. We have lenders that could do even 6.5% as a rental, and it makes sense. One of the reasons that deals become easier to finance as a rental is because the liability on the lender is less. So if it's your primary home, the lender, and you decide to stop paying tomorrow, the lender has to go through extra steps to get you out of the property. When it's an investment home and the property is owned by an LLC or corporation, whatever the case might be, and that's very easy. You can own it in your name, and 2 years from now you transfer it to a company, and then you refinance it with a private lender. But when you own it by as an investment home, the liability is less to the investor lending you the money, because they don't have to go through they go through less hoops than a primary having to foreclose on a primary home. So very cool strategy. All you need to do is go to GreystoneIG.com, go to the tab that says rent to own, locate the property you like. As long as you have $5,000, the property is yours. You live in it for 2 years, and after 2 years, we'll figure something out. Whether it's ideally you have worked on your credit, you could buy it outright. But if not, let's get a private lender that could lend you on the property, and you move on and do the same thing again and again and again and again. So you can see how with this strategy, with an average of $2,500 a year, right? Because you're paying $5,000 now for that lease option, and then you have to exercise that lease option in 2 years. So for an average of $2,500 a year, you can rinse and repeat this process every 2 years, and in 10 years own 5 properties. Once again, you buy it as a lease option. 2 years from now, and by the way, if you like it, you keep it. And your credit is good, you keep it as your primary home. You get a conventional 30-year loan, and that's the end of it. But if you wanna build this empire of properties, you buy it, put the $5,000, live in it, fix it yourself, build the equity. 2 years from now, we move it to a corporation. You refinance it. You might even be able to pull money out 2 years from now, believe it or not, depending on how well you rehab the property. Make it a family goal. Let's rehab this property. Let's make it look really badass, so that 2 years from now, the property you bought for $100 is worth $150, and now we could go to a private lender and get 80, 90%, whatever the case might be. So you might be able to, in year 2, get your money back, or get even above and beyond your down payment, and then rinse and repeat the process. Go to another property, buy it. And by the way, it doesn't need to be 2 years. It could be 3 years. It could be 4 years. It could be 6 months. But this is a really cool strategy where with an average of $2,500 a year, you could buy a property every 2 years. And it's very simple. You just go to GreystoneIG.com, select a property you like. And by the way, if the property's not there, you still sign up so you could be on the waiting list. Fill out the form, do a preview of the property, If you like it, you put $5,000, the property's yours. Then after that, 2 years from now, you close on it with conventional lending, or we transfer it to an LLC and refinance it with private lending. So I'm giving you two options. Within those two options, the risk is very low, because if you have private lending capability, I have about 10 private lenders that will lend you on any property as long as you own it on a corporation, because lenders like to lend money in corporations, less risk. If you don't pay, they can get you out a lot faster. And once again, rinse and repeat the process 2 years from now. This property could be a duplex, fourplex. The second one around. Actually, the second one around, we could be looking for properties specifically for you, because this is something you want to do and continue building. And within 10 years, you can have 5 properties minimum, if not more, depending how fast you can expedite this process. But very cool. Do it. This is the year. Don't wait, because they've said real estate is going to go down. It goes in cycles, but it always, at the end, it always goes up. So even if you buy now,